Hey guys, it's heyteacherraf@gmail.com. Click subscribe and see more tidbits like this. What's behind the curtain? Well, The Wizard of Oz might have some answers. The Wizard of Oz was written by L. Frank Baum and first published in 1900. Many scholars and authors and historians have different versions of what may have inspired the author to create this story. I'd like to read you a little bit from Wikipedia about The Wizard of Oz. It's an allegory or metaphor for political, economic, and social events of America in the 1890s. Scholars have examined four quite different versions of Oz: the novel of 1900, the Broadway play of 1901, and the Hollywood film of 1939, and the numerous follow-up Oz novels written after 1900 by Baum and others. In a 1964 article, educator and historian Henry Littlefield outlined an allegory in the book of the late 19th century debate regarding monetary policy. According to this view, for instance, the yellow brick road, you've heard of it, represents the gold standard. And the silver shoes, ruby slippers in the 1939 film version represent the Silverite 16:1 silver ratio dancing down the road. The city of Oz earns its name from the abbreviation of ounces, O-Z, Oz, in which gold and silver are measured. The 1901 musical version of Oz, written by Baum, plays for laughs. The stage adaptation mentioned by name President Theodore Roosevelt and other political celebrities. For example, the Tin Woodman wonders what he would do if he ran out of oil. You wouldn't be as badly off as John D. Rockefeller. The Scarecrow responds, he'd lose $6,000 a minute if that happened. What year was this again? 1901. Quentin Taylor, for example, claimed that many of the events and characters of the book resemble the actual political personalities, events, and ideas of the 1890s. For example, Dorothy, naive, young, and simple, represents the American people. She is every man or woman led astray, seeking the way back home. Moreover, following the road of gold leads eventually only to the Emerald City, which may symbolize the fraudulent world of greenback paper money that only pretends to have value. It is all ruled by a scheming politician, the wizard, who uses publicity devices and tricks to fool the people and even the good witches into believing he is benevolent, wise, and powerful when really he is a selfish, evil humbug. He sends Dorothy into a severe danger, hoping she will rid him of his enemy, the Wicked Witch of the West. He is powerless, and as he admits to Dorothy, I'm a very bad wizard. Hugh Rockoff suggested in 1990 that the novel was an allegory about the demonetization of silver in 1873, whereby the cyclone that carried Dorothy to the land of Oz represents the economic and political upheaval. The yellow brick road stands for the gold standard, and the silver shoes Dorothy inherits from the Wicked Witch of the East represents the pro-silver movement. When Dorothy is taken to the Emerald Palace before her audience with the wizard, she is led through 7 passages and up 3 flights of stairs, a subtle reference to the Coinage Act of 1873, which started the class conflict in America. Apart from intentional symbolism, scholars have speculated on the sources of Baum's, the author's, ideas and imagery. The man behind the curtain could be a reference to automated store window displays of the sort famous at Christmas season in big city department stores. Many people watching the fancy clockwork motions of animals and mannequins thought there must be an operator behind the curtain pulling the levers to make them move. Baum, the author, was the editor of the trade magazine read by window dressers. So let me get this straight. The author Baum was someone who used an everyday idea as a metaphor for a grand gesture on the financial, political, and economic stage. Something like that, right? George Seeley recast the story as an exercise in treachery, suggesting the supposed good witch Glinda used an innocent, ignorant patsy, Dorothy, to overthrow both her own sister witch, Witch of the West, and the Wizard of Oz, leaving herself as undisputed master of all 4 corners of Oz: north, east, west, and south, and presumably the Emerald City. She even showed her truest Machiavellian brilliance by allowing the story to be entitled after the weakest of her three opponents. Glinda could have told Dorothy that the silver slippers would easily do the job of returning Dorothy to her beloved home, but decided that a destabilizing force, such as Dorothy, might be just the thing to shake up her other rival, the Wizard of Oz. Kissinger, in her book Gold, From Greek Myth to Computer Chips, purports that the wizard symbolizes bankers who support the gold standard and oppose adding silver to it. Only Dorothy's silver slippers can take her home to Kansas, meaning that by Dorothy not realizing that she had the silver slippers the whole time, Dorothy or the Westerners never realized they already had a viable currency of the people, silver. Hint, hint, today's economic and financial forecast, the currency market, the Fed pumping all this money into the propped up stock market. I hope you enjoyed story time. Email me at heyteacherraf@gmail.com and I'll help you with your teaching journey, or click subscribe and see more tidbits like this. Have a great day. Imagine, take care, and keep telling stories.